Imagine walking down a quiet, deserted alley on a cold morning, the air filled with the faint sound of whimpers. You follow the sound, and there, huddled together, are two dogs, abandoned, scared, and crying for help. This is where the story of Bella and Max begins. Their eyes tell a story of pain and betrayal, but also of an unbreakable bond. Left tied to a rusty pole with no food or water, they had only each other to rely on, but fate had other plans for them. This is not just a story of rescue, it's a story of hope, love, and the incredible resilience of animals. In this video, we'll take you through their emotional journey from the moment they were discovered to their rescue, their healing, and their new life filled with love and joy. You'll see how two broken souls found their way back to happiness, and how their story inspired countless others to open their hearts to animals in need. So, grab a tissue, sit back, and get ready to be moved. If this story touches your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring tales of rescue and redemption. Together, we can make a difference, one paw at a time. It was a cold, misty morning in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The streets were empty, save for the occasional rustle of leaves in the wind. The silence was broken by faint, whimpering sounds coming from a nearby alley. The cries were soft but persistent, filled with desperation and fear. As the sun began to rise, a passerby noticed the source of the sounds. Two dogs, huddled together in a corner, their eyes filled with tears and their bodies trembling. This is the story of their heartbreaking abandonment and the miraculous rescue that followed. The dogs, a small brown terrier mix and a larger black Labrador, were found in a narrow alley behind an abandoned warehouse. They were tied to a rusty pole with a frayed rope, their fur matted and dirty, and their ribs visible through their thin coats. The terrier, later named Bella, was curled up in a ball, her head resting on the Labrador, Max, who was licking her gently, as if trying to comfort her. Both dogs looked exhausted, as if they had been crying for hours. The passerby, a kind-hearted woman named Sarah, immediately stopped in her tracks. She had never seen such a heartbreaking sight. The dog's eyes met hers, and in that moment, she knew she had to help them. She approached slowly, speaking in a soft, soothing voice to avoid startling them. Bella lifted her head slightly, her ears twitching, while Max let out a low, mournful whine. Sarah quickly called a local animal rescue organization, explaining the situation in a trembling voice. Within minutes, a team of rescuers arrived at the scene. They were experienced in handling abandoned and abused animals, but even they were taken aback by the condition of the dogs. The rescuers carefully untied the rope, which had left deep marks on the dogs' necks, and gently lifted them into their van. As they drove to the shelter, Bella and Max clung to each other, their bond evident even in their suffering. The rescuers noted how Max seemed to shield Bella, as if he had taken on the role of her protector. It was clear that these two had been through a lot together. At the shelter, the dogs were given a thorough medical examination. Bella was severely malnourished and dehydrated, while Max had a deep cut on his leg, likely from trying to escape his restraints. Both dogs were covered in fleas and ticks, and their fur was so matted that it had to be shaved off completely. Despite their physical condition, their spirits remained unbroken. They wagged their tails weakly as the shelter staff cleaned and fed them, their trust in humans slowly beginning to return. The shelter staff worked tirelessly to nurse Bella and Max back to health. They were given nutritious meals, warm blankets, and plenty of love and attention. Over the next few weeks, the dogs began to transform. Their coats grew back shiny and soft. Their eyes sparkled with life, and their playful personalities emerged. Bella, once timid and fearful, started to wag her tail and play with toys, while Max, ever the protector, kept a watchful eye on her. One of the most remarkable aspects of Bella and Max's story was their unbreakable bond. It was clear that they had been together for a long time, and their connection was deeper than just companionship. They ate together, slept together, and even played together. When Bella was scared, Max would nuzzle her gently, reassuring her that everything was okay. When Max was tired, Bella would curl up beside him, keeping him warm. The shelter staff knew that separating them would be devastating. They made a promise to find a home where Bella and Max could stay together no matter what. They shared their story on social media, hoping to find a loving family who would give these two brave dogs the life they deserved. The response to Bella and Max's story was overwhelming. Hundreds of people reached out, offering to adopt them. After careful consideration, the shelter chose a couple named Emily and James. They had recently lost their elderly dog and were looking to adopt a pair of dogs who could keep each other company. When Emily and James visited the shelter, it was love at first sight. Bella and Max immediately warmed up to them, wagging their tails and showering them with kisses. The adoption process was finalized, and Bella and Max went home with their new family. Emily and James were committed to giving them the best life possible. They set up a cozy corner in their living room with soft beds and plenty of toys, and they took the dogs on long walks in the park every day. Bella and Max thrived in their new environment, their past suffering slowly becoming a distant memory. Bella and Max's story is a testament to the resilience of animals and the power of love and compassion. Despite being abandoned and left to fend for themselves, they never lost hope. Their bond kept them strong, and the kindness of strangers gave them a second chance at life. Today, Bella and Max are living their best lives. They spend their days playing in the backyard, going on adventures with Emily and James, and cuddling on the couch. Their story has inspired countless people to adopt animals in need and to never turn a blind eye to suffering. The story of Bella and Max is more than just a tale of rescue and redemption. It's a reminder that every animal deserves love and care, and that no act of kindness is too small. Whether it's adopting a shelter animal, volunteering at a rescue organization, or simply spreading awareness, we all have the power to make a difference. As for Bella and Max, they will always have each other, and they will always have the love of their new family. Their heartbreaking cries for help have turned into joyful barks of happiness, and their story will continue to inspire hope and compassion for years to come. After settling into their new home, Bella and Max began to show signs of healing, not just physically, but emotionally as well. Emily and James noticed that while the dogs were playful and affectionate, they still carried traces of their past trauma. Loud noises, such as thunderstorms or fireworks, would send Bella into a panic, and Max would become overly protective, barking at strangers who came too close. Emily and James decided to consult a professional dog trainer to help Bella and Max overcome their fears. The trainer, named Lisa, specialized in working with rescue animals and understood the unique challenges they faced. She introduced a gentle, reward-based training program that focused on building confidence and trust. Lisa taught Emily and James how to use positive reinforcement to help Bella and Max feel safe. For example, whenever a loud noise occurred, they would distract the dogs with treats and toys, gradually desensitizing them to the sounds. Over time, Bella's panic attacks became less frequent, and Max learned to relax around strangers. Their progress was slow but steady, and Emily and James celebrated every small victory. Bella and Max quickly adapted to their new routine. Every morning, they would wake up to the sound of Emily's gentle voice and the smell of breakfast cooking in the kitchen. James would take them for a long walk in the park where they could run freely and explore. Bella loved chasing butterflies, while Max preferred sniffing every tree and bush they passed. In the afternoons, the dogs would nap in their cozy corner, curled up together as always. Emily often worked from home, and she loved having their company. Bella would sit at her feet while Max would lie by the window, keeping watch over the neighborhood. Their presence brought a sense of calm and joy to the household. Evenings were reserved for playtime. Emily and James would throw balls and frisbees in the backyard, and Bella and Max would race to catch them. Max, being larger and stronger, usually won, but Bella's determination and agility made her a fierce competitor. Afterward, they would all gather on the couch for a movie night, with Bella and Max snuggled between Emily and James. As Bella and Max continued to thrive, Emily and James felt inspired to give back to the community that had helped bring these two amazing dogs into their lives. They started volunteering at the local animal shelter, where Bella and Max had been rescued. They shared their story with other potential adopters, encouraging them to consider adopting pairs or older animals who often get overlooked. Emily also started a blog called Bella and Max Journey, where she documented their daily adventures, shared training tips, and raised awareness about animal abandonment. The blog quickly gained a following, and people from all over the world reached out to share their own stories of rescue and adoption. Bella and Max became internet celebrities, their photos and videos bringing smiles to thousands of faces. James, who was a photographer, began capturing stunning portraits of Bella and Max. He donated some of his work to the shelter, which used the images for fundraising campaigns. The photos were so impactful that they helped increase adoption rates and donations, allowing the shelter to rescue even more animals in need. Bella and Max's story didn't just inspire individuals, it brought an entire community together. Local businesses started sponsoring adoption events, and schools invited Emily and James to speak about responsible pet ownership. Children wrote letters to Bella and Max expressing their love and admiration, and some even started their own fundraising initiatives like lemonade stands and bake sales to support the shelter. One particularly touching moment came when a young girl named Mia, who had been following Bella and Max's journey, decided to adopt a senior dog from the shelter. She named him Charlie and wrote to Emily, saying, "If Bella and Max can find happiness after everything they went through, then Charlie deserves a second chance too." Emily and James were moved to tears by the impact their dogs were having on others. As the months turned into years, Bella and Max continued to live their best lives. They celebrated birthdays with homemade dog cakes, went on road trips to the mountains, and even became therapy dogs, visiting hospitals and nursing homes to bring comfort to those in need. Their journey from abandonment to love and purpose was a testament to the resilience of animals and the power of compassion. Emily and James often reflected on how much Bella and Max had changed their lives. "They've taught us so much about love, patience, and forgiveness," Emily said in one of her blog posts. "No matter what challenges we face, we know we can get through them together, just like Bella and Max did." Bella and Max's story didn't end with their adoption. It sparked a movement in their community and beyond, inspiring countless people to open their hearts and homes to animals in need. The shelter where they were rescued reported a significant increase in adoptions, particularly of pairs and older dogs. Donations poured in, allowing the shelter to expand its facilities and rescue even more animals. Emily and James continued to advocate for animal welfare, using their platform to raise awareness about the importance of spaying and neutering, microchipping, and responsible pet ownership. They also partnered with other rescue organizations to create a network of support for animals in need. Bella and Max's legacy lives on in every life they touched. Their story is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is hope, and that love and kindness can transform lives. They may have started their journey as two abandoned dogs crying for help, but they ended up becoming symbols of resilience, hope, and the power of second chances. The story of Bella and Max is more than just a tale of rescue and redemption. It's a call to action for all of us to be more compassionate, to look out for those who cannot speak for themselves, and to never underestimate the impact of a small act of kindness. Whether it's adopting a shelter animal, volunteering at a rescue organization, or simply spreading awareness, we all have the power to make a difference. As for Bella and Max, they will always have each other, and they will always have the love of their family. Their heartbreaking cries for help have turned into joyful barks of happiness, and their story will continue to inspire hope and compassion for years to come.